Hello my friends, my name is Tommy. It's Pathfinder 2nd Edition Eve. Hype is real, but first, hey, welcome to another episode of Wednesday Afternoon Worship. Today we're cracking open the Book of the Damned. Let's talk about one of my favorite archdevils, Belial. If you're liking what you're seeing, like, subscribe, ding the bell. Pathfinder 1st Edition content, of course, will continue running through 2nd Edition. Why can't we have both? Today, this episode of Wednesday Afternoon Worship was brought to you in part by Tim Bartlett. Thanks for your help, my friend. Now, let's get unholy. Alrighty, so, Belial is a term occurring in the Hebrew Bible. Later in Jewish and Christian texts, it became personified as the devil. Belial, or in Hebrew, Belial, which I kind of like the pronunciation better, it is what it is a Hebrew word which is used to characterize the wickedness or worthlessness. Some scholars translate it as worthless, others translate it as yokeless. As we go on, Belial, which I think I might just keep saying, fight me, is the angel of lawlessness amongst the 666 fallen angels when Michael was commanded by Jesus to show hell to his disciples. Belial in Pathfinder has one simple commandment: do what you will. Along with the titles given by mortals, the pale kiss, thorned caress, Duke of many forms, the Lord of the fourth layer of hell goes by a number of names. Their variety of names merely suggests the diversity of their form, as few beings in the multiverse can match Belial as a seducer, creator, and deceiver. Before the Exodus, Asmodeus sought to create a beauteous figure to outshine literally the rest of existence. Wisely understanding that no individual could be all things to all creatures, he granted his creation a completely malleable form, a body that literally would shift in response to the darkest desires of all who looked upon it. The result was a thing of golden hair, heaving flesh, luminous eruptions, which Asmodeus locked away for all time. In his second attempt, he withheld the boon of subjective transformation, granting his creation control over that shape, along with a silver tongue, because, the Cha score is not just being pretty, right? We also gotta be able to talk good. That being, he called Belial. Belial possesses one of the most incredible imaginations in hell, commanding the respect and envy of the infernal elite. Aside from assuring continued excitement through millennia of hedonism, man, I'm just gonna do this all video, aren't I? Their creativity has spawned numerous deadly infernal weapons, perverse magic, and entire new races of devils. Although, of course, they possess an unrestrained flair for the dramatic, they care little for what is created. Their interests are just as quick to change as their form is. In recent centuries, Belial has become increasingly intrigued by the method of their genesis seeking to recreate that powerful magic. When they privately entreated Asmodeus for their secret, the Prince of Darkness rebuffed them, telling them not to be concerned with the dominion of true gods. Nevertheless, Belial continues to experiment with the creation and modification of mortal life, though Asmodeus has long known of this disobedience and has merely yet to castigate his servant. Belial is worshipped by jilted lovers, the forlorn, and both the ugly and the beautiful, the lonely begging for comforts of the flesh, aging beauties looking for eternal youth. When Belial does travel to the material plane, they coerce mortals into indulging their basest desires, encouraging them towards acts of self-destructive gratification and unspeakable pleasures. And down to the stats, shall we? Hey, guess what? This archdevil's lawful evil. I know, right? Shocker. Their domains are charm, destruction, evil, and law, with the subdomains catastrophe, devil, lust, and rage. Their favorite weapon is the Ranseur, and their unholy symbol, a two-toned devil mask. To perform Belial's deific obedience, fill a chalice, cup, or other small receptacle with pure, clean water, then despoil it with 13 drops of bodily fluid of any nature. But be sure to wash your hands first, kids. Hold the spoiled concoction in your hands, envision the most sexually enticing image imaginable, and pray aloud to Belial until your throat is parched. Then drink the thing! Ah, man. Book of the Damned is weird. I am taking a drink of my coffee, and I'm not picturing that. No. But a +4 profane bonus on saving throws to resist charm effects and spells with the charm descriptor is pretty nice. I'd like to picture that as the caster's spell kind of malfunctioning because, well, what did he just drink? Ah, no, run! Anyway, Evangelist boons, now that my vanilla self is done panicking. It's erase thrice a day, acute senses twice a day, or non-detection once a day. At 16th level, the pale kiss delights in painful acts of carnal desire, and you share this sense of glee when others so suffer. Once per day as a standard action, you can target a single creature within 60 feet with a number of hit dice less than or equal to twice your own. Dang, that's a lot. If that creature fails a will save, it feels the emotional anguish of a beloved's betrayal. The creature drops all held items, and beginning on the round it is targeted by this ability, deals a d8 points of damage to itself each round, no save, as a full round action as it tries to grapple with its emotions. Oh, that is brutal. And it's really good, too. That's a pretty good lockdown spell. The creature can take no other actions while it is affected by this ability. A creature that is restrained with a successful grapple, or otherwise rendered immobile, can't hurt itself, and this lasts for a number of rounds equal to your hit dice. They get to save each round. This is an emotion mind-affecting effect. It's also really good. Dang. Well done, Belial. Anywho, at 20th level, the pinnacle of the Thorn Caresses worship has taught you how to couple being desirous to others with the ability to inflict great pain upon those you entice. For a number of minutes per day equal to your hit dice, anyone who touches your skin, such as with a punchin or a bitin, or a touch attack, takes 4d6 bleed damage. You cannot deal this bleed damage to others by touching them yourself. Kicking this on as a standard action, dismissing it as a free action. It's used in minute increments. It's also not bad. By 20th level, I don't know what's biting you that's not immune to bleed, but I mean, if the GM's throwing 20th level monks at you, bam. Super good. Exalted boons. It's Charm Person, thrice a day. Unnatural Lust, you knew you'd see it twice a day, or Seek Thoughts once a day. At 16th level, like Belial, you can offer great pleasures at an even greater price. Twice per day, when you lure a creature into an act of passion, such as a kiss, and nothing else, no, poo-poo, as a standard action, you can bestow a negative level on the creature and cause it to be exhausted for a number of rounds equal to half your hit dice. You can affect an unwilling creature, but the creature must be grappled, will save 10 plus half your hit dice plus your cha to negate the negative level and exhaustion. At 20th level, deep understanding of the pale kiss has taught you how to lure chattel to your side with sweet promises of pleasure, lulling them to a sense of complacency before they realize they can never escape your iron grasp. Once per day, it's Mass Hold Monster as a spell like, yeah, sure, that's not bad. Anyway, Sentinel Boons, it's Disguise Self thrice a day, Alter Self twice a day, or Glibness once a day. At 16th level, studying and worshipping the inscrutable ways of Belial, the Duke of many forms. I keep wanting to say the Duke every time I go and read that, has taught you how to imitate the appearances of many creatures. Thrice a day as a standard action. For a number of minutes equal to your hit dice, you can take on the appearance of any outsider, with a number of hit dice equal to or fewer than your own. If the outsider has a fly speed, you gain that fly speed, as well as resistances and immunities, but nothing else. But you gain a bonus equal to twice your hit dice on bluff checks to be like, hey, I'm an imp. Any creature that interacts with you can will save to disbelieve. It's used in minute increments. You guys know what's up. At 20th level, you embody the might of the forges of Belial's realm. For a number of rounds equal to your hit dice each day, you gain DR 15 over good and silver, immunity to fire and poison, and SR equal to 11 plus your hit dice. You also get fast healing 5, and all your weapons count as evil and lawful for the purpose of overcoming DR. Activating this ability is a swift action, dismissing it is a free action. The effect's duration, again, 1 round increments. I think the Evangelist wins it. I really do. Lockdowns are gross, but that DR and all of those buffs look sweet too. So, real quick, of course, we're lawful evil. We'll need that Tyrant Code. To be honest, I'd like to do this one a little easier. I'm just literally gonna yank this from Belial's flavor text. Such as all the impassioned Belial demands of their followers, for your Tyrant Anti-Paladin Code, it's real simple. Do what you will. And now if we drift over to Bestiary 6, we'll see a CR28, almost 5 million XP monster that I almost sicked on players in Lordly Caliber. Got really close, not gonna lie. In the events of that game, I had it in my head that all of my players, at the end of said game, would square off against a CR 20 plus creature solo. They would have the events of that campaign to prep for that, buff for that, prepare for its buffs, because a 20th level PC who rolled for stats is probably better. Yeah, let's look at these stats, shall we? This halfling rogue would have had a whole campaign to figure out how to get around the amorphous anatomy of this creature, but Belial's constant shape changing occurs within their body as well as outwardly, which means their vital organs are rapidly opening all over the place. This grants Belial a 50% chance to ignore additional damage from crits and sneaks, and renders them immune to polymorph effects. Belial recovers from physical effects that cause the blinded, deafened, or dazzled condition after a round, because their form just kinda opes out new sensory organs. In addition, no matter what form Belial takes, the Archdevil can adopt an aspect of unearthly beauty, kinda like that gnome you were in love with. You out there? Van Curtis? I actually kinda miss you. You were a good PC, and a good man. I'll have to message you on Facebook. Anyway, rambling. Causing either all humanoids, or all creatures of the Archdevil's assumed type within 30 feet with line of sight to Belial to be filled with lust for them. Such a creature rushes toward the splendid figure to kiss the Archdevil on its next turn, subjecting itself to the effects of Belial's caress. Talk about that in a sec. Alternatively, the Archdevil can adopt a guise of extreme and appalling horror, causing creatures of that type to be nauseated for 1d6 rounds and take a d6 points of strength damage. Either is resisted with a DC 39 will save. Save once, you're immune for a day. This is a mind-affecting emotion effect. And oh, that caress! A creature caressed by Belial gets 2 negative levels, and it's a DC 39 fort save, or a d4 points of intelligence, wisdom, and charisma damage. As a swift action when using any spell-like ability, Belial can force a single creature currently suffering from any of these effects to roll twice on any save and take the lower. And Belial can of course assume the form of any creature when changing shape, but the specific powers are limited to greater polymorph. Changing shape is a move action for Belial. But in their normal form, if Belial strikes a creature with both wings, the target is staggered for a round and dazzled for a d4 by flying feathers and scabrous scales. With a successful DC 41 fortitude save, we can negate the staggered condition and only be dazzled for a round. This is a vision-based effect, and it's con-based, so close your eyes, kids. Next up, when any creature, friend or foe, within 30 feet of Belial gains a morale bonus or a beneficial emotion effect, Belial can choose to gain the same benefit, including the highest bonus if there are multiple of the same kind. In addition, when Belial confirms a critical hit, they suppress all morale bonuses, affecting the target for 1 minute, or probably the whole combat. Belial can also attack adjacent foes with his Rancer as if it were not a reach weapon, and counts as a 20th level fighter for purposes of filling feat prereqs, hooray, and once per minute as an immediate action when Belial would be struck in melee by a non-reach weapon. The Archdevil can use Change Shape to assume a different form of a smaller size. Oops, plus 10 dodge bonus to AC against the attack. If that causes the attack to miss, they take no damage, of course, that's weirdly worded, and can move up to 30 feet in any direction before automatically reverting to their previous form. This ability and this movement do not provoke. You know, it's kind of disappointing the plus 4 speed Unholy Rancer that Belial wields into combat is, you know, not an artifact, but I guess it is what it is, and for their boon, let's say a permanent plus 2 bonus to charisma. That sounds fun. That sounds like something you'll use. When I look at this art, what I think of is not necessarily the hedonism and the horrendousness. You know, I kind of think of Gazra. Beauty on one side, destruction on the other. Maybe it's a little more this time around than gentle sea breeze and merciless storm. Nevertheless, the duality is there, and I really enjoy that. Of course, we've said this, I think, every reading of Book of the Damned. Gonna say it one more time. Belial, of course, uses adult themes. Session zeros are important. Talk to your people. X cards are a thing. Veiling is a thing. Don't be a creep. But I really like Belial in the game as a big bad and as a servant of a player. Sure, it's not the, like, whispering seduction of power that we would expect from Hell, but we've got the whispering seduction, and, like, what are we the most apt to give our souls away to, right? Not the putrescent, ugly monsters, nah. If a thing we are extremely attracted to approaches us and says that they'll give us what we need, all the power, all the buffs, all the cool stuffs, and we don't realize it, but we're already under a pretty big compulsion. That seems like the best, most efficient way to get a humanoid to consign their souls to hell. Hedonism is not really something I associate with lawful evil, but I suppose it has to have its place. Anyone who can roleplay, do what you want, and worship lawful evil is able to wrap their heads around how the alignments work, honestly, a little better than I can, because I'm kind of having some cognitive dissonance there. Even that much shapeshifting, to me, seems more like one of the eldest or a demon lord. Having that on this side of the alignment chart is very unique. Very unique is very cool. Thus, something along the lines of like a neutral evil druid, or some other like shapeshifty type class in service to hell, does become a rather unique take on things, and it would seem to fit. I think if I were to play a character who worshipped Belial, and I had to stop and think about it, I'm not gonna lie, seems to be a very, like, business up front, party out back kind of character. From 9 to 5, you're getting it done. The order of hell is the most paramount to you. Everything is very ordered. The filing cabinets are organized, signed, sealed in triplicate, but as soon as you're off work, well, you know, do what you will. Anyway, that's all I have to say this time, guys. What do you guys think about Belial? Have we worshipped him? Have we fought him? Are we stoked to fight some devils in 2nd edition, which is tomorrow? I can't wait to share all of my findings with you guys. I've been sitting on them for a long time. I feel like I'm about to explode. And as always, my friends, thank you so much for watching. It's a 3.5 deity getting homebrewed next week. From the Forgotten Realms, the chaotic good drow goddess of song, dance, swordplay. There's a lot of E's in this one. I feel like I'm gonna mispronounce it. Hope you don't like Faerun. I'm about to butcher your favorite thing. Next week, it's Illustrae. See you then.